Morphing back in with a new tornado warning. This one is for Ford and Iroquois counties until 4:30. So we've got a little under 40 minutes with this new warning. It just popped up within the past minute. And you can see that it is basically right over the Gibson City area right now, moving off to the east pretty slowly there. And so what we're going to do is I'm going to step off screen because I also have to make sure that we're able to watch this on our streaming channels as well, and also kind of change our inputs here. It's just one moment. But again, if you've been watching today, the replays of golf, you'll notice that we've had a number of different warnings that have popped in and out over the course of the afternoon, and we have a new one that has now just popped up in here. So again, this is for Ford and Iroquois counties. It does go until 4:30, and if you're watching or even kind of still watching on our social media channels, you can kind of been saying that we're watching this cell. And as it's now gone into Ford County, it has now been able to produce, it's now been able to go into conditions that are favorable for it to produce a tornado. In fact, a very good-looking couplet right there in terms of our velocity, basically right just to the south of Gibson City. And so we've got checking out some Facebook here and some Twitter. And guys in the back, Triple J, if you can hear me, if you go onto my Twitter, you can see that we've got some pictures coming in from Jacob Dickey, our former intern here and Gibson City resident, and I'm retweeting them. If you want to potentially get those pictures and then show them on TV, that would be great. Him and his dad are out viewing some storms there. But again, the storm has kind of been moving into very favorable conditions as we kind of go back in time here with our velocity. As it was more into parts of McLean County, it was looking to strengthen, and then boom, as it went over into Ford County, it has now had a pretty tight velocity couplet with that, and that's why there is the tornado warning out for it. So again, we've got this tornado warning. I'm going to check out a few things here in terms of its strength here. So we've got it being radar indicated. Hail could be pretty large with this one as well, and it's moving to the east at 35 miles per hour. So it is going a little bit quicker than the past few storms. It has got a slowly rotating wall cloud just to the southwest of Gibson City, and it's got increasing rotation with it from Gibson City there. So we've got our velocity on currently. Let's put a track on it based on where that velocity couplet is and time it out for 35 miles per hour. You can tell that it's moving off to the east at around 35, so it'll be around Ludlow at 412, Loda at 419, Kerr at 426. If it keeps on going at this pace, it may be getting to the Cissna Park area by 3:35, or Hoopeston by 4:51, but that's getting into a pretty big cone there with that. And so we're looking at this storm to be moving off to the east at around 35, but it's now rotated. It's got some pretty good rotation on it. It's also, as we kind of loop it here, you can definitely tell that it really has increased within the past few radar scans, which would be over the past few minutes. So this storm has gotten pretty strong, but again, you can kind of zoom out here. We do have additional velocity and still kind of some slight rotation with that one storm that we did have warnings on for earlier across Livingston County. Now it's in Ford and Iroquois County, so it's still pretty far away from that one. It's on the far northern edge of the viewing area. Quarter to half dollar-sized hail in Gibson City with this storm. I'm going to actually take it to the Skycam to see if we can't pick up on it. There it is in Gibson City. And in fact, what you can kind of tell too, and that might be what we're looking at in the ball field there, in the baseball field, some little white little specks. There actually could be some hail that's being that's falling right now, which would make sense. We got a report saying quarter to half dollar-sized hail in Gibson City, and so that might be what we're seeing there on our camera as it goes through in our Gibson Area Hospital and Health Services weather camera. Been pretty fortunate today to have these storms that we've had in our viewing area go by cameras that we have, so it's nice to be able to see what we've got on the radar there. In terms of the wind, it's tough to tell though, but if you kind of look off to the side with the trees, it's definitely blowing around, but it doesn't look to be overly very windy, at least based on this current view right now. But that doesn't mean that this storm doesn't have gusty winds, just where this camera is located, it may not have the strongest winds currently there. So there's where it is. We've got it basically in the southwestern portion of Ford County. That is going to be where our storm is showing not only the strongest winds, but also the potential there for some of those pretty large hail. We've got $1 to $1/2 sized hail, and got that nice little core that does show up there just to the south of Gibson City. So it is basically on Gibson City in the southern side of town there as that goes through. Again, moving very slowly off to the east at around 35 miles per hour, so you'd be looking at some pretty high rainfall amounts there as well. This is not totally caught up with it just yet because this is in the past, but you can tell that this track of this cell, once it kind of formed there to the north of Clinton Lake, it really has been able to drop quite a bit of rain, and now as it's gone to Gibson City, that's where it's dumping those rain showers. We'll go back to the SkyCam and see if we can see anything unique out of that. And again, you can see that the rain coming down very hard. You've got maybe some hail being shown within that too. It's tough to tell within those the specks of the raindrops as those fall down, but likely going to be some hail mixing in with that view there, just because we've got a report from our buddy Jacob Dickey about $1 to $1/2 sized hail in Gibson City. Okay, and Triple J, if you actually want to show those on TV, if you want to pull those up, yep. So that's it's a picture from Jacob Dickey, and he's relaying them to the National Weather Service. That's right over Gibson City, and so we've got a good view of that storm there. It's got rotation on it, which means it has the potential to produce a tornado, and there's another one too. Yeah, there you go. You can see that one as well. And that one's a good one. And in fact, Triple J, if you wouldn't mind keeping it on that image there, you've got this feature right here on our actual storm itself. That little lowering portion of it, that is going to be the wall cloud right there. So that's kind of that lowering portion there is the wall cloud. And so we're going to see that's where the rotation would be. And if that were to produce a tornado, that's where that would be. So if you wouldn't mind going back to the radar, we'll check out any latest info on that one. So here we'll pull up our radar, and we'll kind of loop this thing here as well as turn on our velocity to show you the latest on that velocity couplet. It still is there. We'll go back a couple frames, and does it to be still impressive there. So it is still holding on to its strength as it moves off to the kind of east-northeast at around 35 miles per hour. So again, if you live in and around these areas, please make sure that you are seeking shelter. You've got, in addition to strong winds with this one, large hail out of this as well. That core is basically on the south side of Gibson City, but the whole town there is getting all that rain. And the shield of clouds is even going towards Paxton, which is also in the tornado warning too. Ludlow right there on the edge. Elliott in there as well. Buckley just kind of on the edge there. We do have a few other cells that now kind of connect this line with that severe thunderstorm warned cell that's now mainly in Kankakee County. That was the one that did produce the tornado warnings across Livingston County. And then farther down to the south and southwest, everything is all clear. So we are still expecting there to be maybe a few more storms to develop, but it likely will be it for the rest of the evening. And in terms of severe weather, it's probably going to be just this one left over, and that will likely be our last warning that we do have to contend with here with it, just because the fact that we're not really seeing much more in the way of further storm development. So 4:30 for Ford in parts of Iroquois County for the tornado warning there. Again, it's got, just checking a few things here. It still does remain radar indicated, so we're still not exactly seeing one on the ground, but there is rotation with it. A number of sources are picking up on that rotation. The radar is one of them. We also have trained spotters there who have been able to see that we do have the rotation there as well. And it still does remain now a little bit to the east-southeast of Gibson City. So we'll put a track on this one to show you the different municipalities that could be impacted by this as it moves off to the east at around 35 miles per hour. Again, these times are going to be estimates, and a lot of these towns are not going to be outside of the actual warning box itself. So just take note of that. Ludlow at 4:16, Loda at 4:23, Kerr at 4:30, Cessna Park at 4:39, and Hoopeston at 4:15. 56. So we'd be looking at if that storm continues on its same track to potentially impact these communities. So be sure that you're safely in your home or where you need to be, your shelter, in place here for the remainder of this tornado warning, which does go for another 28 minutes. We do have it going until 4:30. Checking a few more things here. Okay. It is just me here in the weather center. Let's take a look at the Skycam from Gibson City, what that's doing now. All right, so Gibson City is kind of coming out on the other side of it right now. That's why it's looking nice and sunny. You've got still quite a bit of heavy rainfall occurring, but it always is a very, very nice looking sight there when you can see some blue skies and some more sunshine there. Iris it's having a hard time trying to focus in on that. It actually may be due to lightning. So we'll take a look at the lightning with that storm as it's now moving over Gibson City and now mainly between Gibson City and Paxton right now. Ton of lightning with that one. And this is our southern storm on it. Let's see if we can pick it up on our camera from the studio, because now it's getting a little bit closer. I know it's obviously far away. It'd be north of Rantoul, but we could be able to pick up potentially on the anvil of this one. So let me, I'm going to keep it off screen here currently. Okay, I'm going to change the camera angle here, 1 second, and we'll be able to see that we've got that view coming into play here in terms of the top of the anvil. It's kind of a cool look here, and that would be from our studio camera, and here it comes right now. So you've got our studio camera, and looks nice. However, you can see definitely those tall, billowy cumulus clouds off in the distance there, and that is the storm that we're looking at there. Those cloud tops spiking about 40,000 feet, and so it's able to tap into some of the rotation that is up there in the upper atmosphere, and that's why it's rotating. Again, we still do have that tornado watch, which is now being trimmed, so Logan and Menard counties are now out of that, which is good. And that goes until 8 o'clock. Still looking at DeWitt, McLean, Ford, Livingston, Iroquois counties for that to continue until 8 o'clock. But this is going to be basically the storm that will bring an end to that tornado watch, we're thinking, because there shouldn't be too much more additional storm development after this. Future track, again, if you were watching earlier, this really shouldn't be too much of a difference there. However, it does nicely pick up our cell almost exactly where it is, a little bit farther to the north, but that'll be moving. And we're then looking to be much more quiet here by the next few hours in this evening. Should be nice across the board for us. So let's go back to our radar. Again, we still do have this tornado warned storm for Ford and Iroquois counties. Is now approaching the Paxton area. So if you live in Paxton, you want to make sure that you're able to get to shelter as quick as you can here if you're not already there. This storm does still remain with a tornado warning on it until 4:30. And still trying to see if we've got any new information in terms of any more. That's just all for other ones. Again, this is now, with it being in Ford County, this tornado warning is part of the Chicago National Weather Service office, and they've got obviously a number of storms that they're dealing with currently as well. So I get a lot of updates, but it's not actually the storms that I need updates on. It's actually just this one that I do. So we've got pretty much that cell in northern part of Ford County is also still a heavier one as well. But we've got the actual southern part of the storm that we have the warning on. So we'll turn our velocity back on here, and you can see that we still are going to have some rotation. It's there. It may not look to be as impressive as it did before. We'll go back a couple of different loops, and it looked a little bit better before, but it still is clearly there. And that's going to be the rotation the storm is doing in the upper parts of it, which means that the rotation could come down all the way to the ground, and that would be in the form of the tornado. And so that's why we do have that tornado warning on it. We also have the potential for some very large hail, too, with it. And there's our core. Sometimes it doesn't always match up, but it's showing up nicely there. I'll zoom in a little bit more. They've kind of trimmed the warning box. So now Gibson City is now basically the eastern edge of town is now would be considered in it. Everywhere else in town is looking to be much better. That hail core is a little bit, not only is it smaller size-wise, it also is smaller in terms of what it can produce, which is good. All right, just got a couple more things here. So they're still continuing with their tornado warning until 4:30. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Gibson City, moving east now at 25. So it's actually slowed down quite a bit here with it. So we'll put our velocity back on, and you've got it. I'll kind of zoom out here. Moving to the east at 25, so it's going to take it even longer now to get to Paxton. But timing-wise, you'd be looking at Paxton around 4:19. You've got Clarence at 4:39, Rankin at 4:48, and Hustle at 4:56. If that were to continue its speed as well as its track on that easterly direction. But it is going to the east at 25 miles per hour. That is a little bit slower than what it was doing earlier when it was at 35 miles per hour. Sometimes when you've got it slowing down, it may actually be trying to strengthen a bit more. So we'll have to keep an eye out for that in terms of our velocity right there. It still looks to be there. It may not look exactly as good as it did before, but it may be trying to strengthen back up a little bit more. We'll keep an eye on that one. That is the only cell that we now have a warning on, or a tornado warning on, in the heart of our viewing area. We still do have that one off to the north on the far edge of Ford and Iroquois County. That one goes until, I believe, 4:15. Yeah, 4:15 on that one. And so that's obviously way up there now at that point. They just brought up a new one, and now that one will go now until 4:45 up there for Ford, Iroquois, and Kankakee counties. But southern part of Ford County and the southwestern part of Iroquois County is where we have our tornado warning. This storm up here is going to be for large hail on that one. There could be some golf ball size hail with this storm up here. And as you can kind of tell there, we've got it looping in different directions. It's kind of, that one by column is kind of meeting it now. But this one is the one that we're really concerned about, because that's the one that's coming towards Paxton. So if you live in Paxton, please get to your safe spot immediately if you're not already there. We'll check out the sky cam. This should be still from Champaign. You can tell that we've got that tall warning there, or that tall cloud there. And I'm going to change it now to our Gibson City one to see what that one looks like. All right, so they look pretty good there. We'll turn the time lapse on for Gibson City, and that's going to play through here momentarily. All right, you got some pictures for me. Wait just 1 second. Let me run through this time lapse here, and then we'll put them on, because I just want to show the approaching storms here with this one. So you can tell it's getting a little bit darker in Gibson City, and then as we come into the afternoon, oh, it cut off. Can't rely on technology ever, can we? Triple J, how about you put on some of those pictures, if you don't mind? Okay, that's by Elliot from our friend Jacob Dickey. So that's right over that Stella right now is right over Elliot. Now, maybe even a little bit to the east of Elliot, but that was a great shot there of that one. Again, you can see the lowering of that. That's most likely the lowering of the wall cloud itself, and that would be where that tornado would potentially be coming from. We've got a few pictures that are coming in out of that, out of Jacob. So I appreciate him and his dad's help on that one. You've got definitely that lowering there of that, and that would be the wall cloud that would be kind of in that bottom right-hand corner of the windshield view there. Well, it looks like it's coming down pretty far. That is near the Elliott area, and that is right where our storm is over right now currently. There still is that rotation with the storm as it approaches the Paxton area. It might be heading now a little bit more to the northeast, but Paxton still remains very close to being on the track of this storm, as well as Loda as well. So we'll kind of, this is a great picture there by Jacobs. Yep, so go back to the radar, and as we loop it, maybe trying to turn a bit more to the northeast rather than just to the straight up east direction. So that may mean that we will now, let's just put a track on this to go a little bit on the farther northern part of this warning here. So again, Paxton, Loda, you guys should all be in your safe spot right now. I've now made it a little bit of a wider, more of a northeasterly turn here because that might be where it ended up being. But if you live in Paxton, you should be there right now. Clarence 431, Cissna Park at 443, Fountain Creek at 451, and then Wellington at 509. If that were to continue on this track, it still is technically listed as east at 25 miles per hour, but it may be trying to wobble a little bit here with its direction. So if you live, especially nearby any of these areas between Ludlow and Buckley, along I-57, you want to make sure that you're in your safe spot because the storm is going to be approaching pretty quickly here. It is just off to the west of I-57 currently. But those pictures that we had were from the Elliott area, and those were from about probably, well, just a few minutes ago. And you can tell that Elliott is now kind of on that western edge of the storm itself. So Elliott will be coming in, will be coming out of that storm here momentarily, where Paxton, it'll be going into Paxton or very close to Paxton pretty soon. So here's our velocity. It does not look to be as impressive as it was looking earlier, but it is still there. And so now we have a severe thunderstorm watch that is, or severe thunderstorm warning that has been posted for this one. So let's get the warning information on that one. This one goes until 5:15. Pulling up the information right now. I'll read that off to you momentarily. Ping pong sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts are going to be potential with this storm, as well as the tornado possible tag on that storm too. So you'll be looking at a 1.5-inch hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds out of this storm. So that is where we are currently at with that. We've got another 16 minutes of this tornado warning, and we're going to keep a watch out for that one. But right now they've put a new severe thunderstorm warning over that area, and so that is going to be a couple things here. Just reading the couple things. All right, so now looks like that storm is now potentially losing a little bit of its rotational characteristics, and as a result of that, that's why they popped up that severe thunderstorm warning instead of another tornado warning. It's moving to the east at 35 miles per hour. So it is moving still more to the east than the northeast. And so we'll put a track on that to get you the times there of these storms. Again, Paxton basically right there right now. So in a few minutes, it's going to be arriving in Paxton, Cissna Park at 441, Fountain Creek 446, just before 5 in Hoopeston, and then Stockland at 5:08. That's what we'll be looking at for our timing. Okay. Everything else nice and quiet in the viewing area, which is good. We do have that other additional severe thunderstorm warning for the northern tip of Ford County and the far northwestern part of Iroquois County until 4:45. That one's for storms that have, again, big hail with that one as well. But we continue to have the tornado warning for the next 14 minutes for Ford and Iroquois counties, just kind of watching that storm there as it enters the Paxton area. We do have a lot of viewers that are there. And so we'll turn the velocity on, and you'll see that, okay, the velocity is now significantly less, so that's good. It's looking like it's weakening, and that makes sense based on kind of the shape of it on the radar. It does not look to appear to have that really good-looking couplet anymore. Even the pictures that I'm seeing on social media, they don't look to be as impressive looking as the storm did maybe about 15 minutes ago. But you're definitely going to get some hail in and around the Paxton area. We'll turn that on. Right now, it's still a little bit off to the west of Paxton, right by the Elliott area. So this is going to be a little bit just outside of the city limits there, and may still be slightly behind where we actually are right now. But you can tell that hail core also looks to be pretty small as well. It's just not as impressive or as intense looking as it did before. As you can tell that we had those storms that the storm did produce some bigger hail when it was by Gibson City. Also when it had a higher, or it looked like a little bit of a better rotation. I'll couple it with that one. So it's definitely weakened a bit more, which is good news there. But still watching that rotation there with that storm, as it still does have the potential to drop a tornado. But it does look to be a much better looking velocity picture in terms of it's much weaker. It's not as strong looking as it did before. So that's some good news there. Kind of backing it up, you can tell that by the Elliott area and Gibson City area it was much better, and now it's just kind of broad rotation more than anything else. So we'll keep it for the next 14 or 12 minutes here until 4:30, when this tornado warning will officially go away, and then we'll be left with that additional severe thunderstorm warning. Everywhere else remains nice and quiet, and I think that once these storms exit the area, we should be looking at a pretty dry night tonight for a majority of central Illinois. We'll go back to our sky cam, and we'll take a look at that's Gibson City currently. So they've got the nice sunny skies back out there after their storms went through. I'm going to change it to Champaign Studio, where I'm looking off to the north that direction there. And you can tell, you can even see the puffy anvil cloud, the top of the anvil cloud there, kind of in the center part of your screen. And that is looking off to the north, well, basically straight north, and that's our storm there. But that's our closest camera. It's pretty far away. Got a text message from my friend Dale, who lives in Paxton. It's not there yet, but they can hear a lot of thunder. It's got to be very close by there, though. The actual core itself is going to be where those darker colors are, right there. So Paxton, you're underneath the shield of the actual storm itself. So it looks like there's rain right over you right now, but you may not actually be getting any rain. It's all kept up in the clouds there due to the strong updraft. But it is very close there. But the good news is, though, is that rotation is now drastically looking worse, which is, I mean that in a good way. It does not look to be as tightly well-defined like it did earlier. Let's loop the velocity, and you can tell that now it's kind of not really there as much. It still has some broad rotation, but overall, though, things are looking to be much better. Taking a look at a few things here from the National Weather Service. Some good news to pass along. We do have the trimming of the tornado watch. So Logan, DeWitt, and McLean counties are now also out of that tornado watch as well. So we're basically looking at Livingston, Ford, Iroquois counties as the counties that remain underneath the tornado watch until 8 o'clock. And they're going to cancel that once this thing comes out of there. So once this storm exits, either weakens enough or goes into Indiana, that's when they're going to be able to pull away the rest of the watch, and then we'll be looking at much better, more quiet conditions there. So we're almost done. We just have that storm going now over parts of Ford County and eventually crossing over into Iroquois County here pretty soon. Again, we'll put another track on it. Still going around 35, maybe a little bit slower than that. But Loda 423, Cessna Park 439, Hoopeston 457, Prairie Green at 504, and Hickory Grove at 613. That is what we're looking at for the timing-wise right now. Turn our velocity back on, and you can tell that it still is there. It's still kind of right by the Paxton area. It's likely to be passing just off to the northwest there of town. It just does not look as good as it did earlier. That's great news. We got the hail. Put that up. Much smaller little core there. Not only is the core, in fact, smaller, it also is not showing as much in the way of large hail either, like it did back by Gibson City. So that's also looking to show some further improvement to our conditions in terms of these storms weakening a bit more. Tons of lightning with this one, though. it basically just blows out that view. Individual cells moving through basically the northeastern part of the viewing area is about all we're looking at here in terms of our weather. That storm also looks like it may not have as much in the way of lightning strikes with it, so hopefully we can begin to watch this one further weaken as it goes into Iroquois County. But that is why they've got severe thunderstorm watches or severe thunderstorm warnings up instead of tornado warnings up for parts of Ford and Iroquois counties. Checking in a few more things here. Oh, we got some more pictures. How about you guys show those? That'd be good. So near Purdueville in Ford County at about 4:20, so about 3 minutes ago. Again, from our friend Jacob Dickey, from his dad, and it looks to be a much more ragged-looking picture there with that. Probably very ragged wall cloud. The rotation just does not look to be as intense with that one, and that's why it just doesn't appear to have as much of an organized look as it did earlier on. So good news there, and that one also from Purdueville at, again, 4:20. You can see that you do have a little bit still lowering left over from that one. Also, you got that nice kind of blue coloring to it in between those darker clouds, signifying that there is still some hail up in there, as well as some very heavy rains underneath that storm. But great look there from the lowering of that storm from Purdueville, which is in Ford County. Triple J, I'm not sure if you can see another picture, though, that he has. It's a little bit of an older picture. Never mind. It's from 4 o'clock. I want to show those pictures that we showed were more recent ones. Yep, we have another 6 minutes left with the leftover tornado warning, although you can tell that we've already kind of replaced that one with that severe thunderstorm warning there. So it's likely losing its intensity, and we can back that statement up by the fact that we look at the velocity. It's just not there anymore. So it's going to be much more of a broad rotation with that one. It continues to lose it. And the hail core, another signifying feature that it might be kind of weakening. Yeah, it's really looking to be a lot lower now, which is good. So we're looking at improving, weakening conditions with the storm as it moves off to the east at around 35 miles per hour, give or take. And also have, again, a lot of rain with these storms as these have been coming through. You've got that teal showing up, including kind of by the Elliott area again, just off to the northwest of Elliott there. You've got that spike there in our rainfall, and that would be looking at the potential there of over an inch of rain. And the teal color is about an inch. So you're looking at, again, a lot of radar estimated rainfall that does occur out there. We'd be looking at things to be improving here pretty nicely once we get into Iroquois County. Hopefully these storms continue to show its weakening trend there. And that's where it is right now. Again, it's now basically, Paxton is now just off to the south of the actual storm itself. Loda right now, Buckley is more underneath that. Paxton is kind of there right on the edge of that storm. I wish we had a sky cam there that would be able to show that. That'd be a great looking shot. We've got that continuing to go into Iroquois County as a severe thunderstorm warning. Taking a look at a few more things here. Okay. I mean, there still definitely is at least some lowering with this. But it's just off to the north of Paxton. So if you live in Paxton itself, you're going to be okay here. It's going to be passing just off to your north. Loda underneath that right now, but taking a look at the rotation and the velocity, we're just looking kind of right there, be where to be having an eye on it, and it just does not look to be as impressive looking as it did before. Just checking a few things here. Appreciate everybody watching here, as well as sending us in some pictures if you've got them. If you can save them, we'd love to share some of them here during our newscast at 6 o'clock. Our velocity, when you loop that, it just looks to be significantly more disorganized, especially back when it was by Gibson City and Elliott there. It is still kind of showing up, but it is much more broad and likely not going to be producing much more in the way of any rotation. And if it keeps on this track, it'll just be a strong storm with some very strong winds, as well as the potential there for some large hail, although even that's now even looking to be even lower still. So that continues to be smaller on that scan there of our hail size. So we'll take our warnings back on. 5:15 is when this severe thunderstorm warning expires for Ford and Iroquois County. So you've got about 45 minutes left of that one. You got 2 minutes left of this tornado warning, which will likely then go back to the replay of Gulf. And then if anything else pops up with this storm, we're going to keep probably talking about it. The good news is, though, that's it. Everything else down to our south is dry. We likely are going to stay that way for the rest of the night tonight, and probably a lot of us will stay dry until tomorrow when there's a chance for a few more pop-up storms. Those storms that were in parts of Livingston County as well as Ford County, they're now technically all into Kankakee County now. So we're looking at really just these this one cell in our technical viewing area currently to have the warnings on them. Checking a few things here for us, but overall things are looking better in terms of our severe weather, in terms of that tornado warning, and also for the continuing weakening, hopefully, of this storm here. It's been doing that over the past few scans. Even turning the lightning on, you can tell that while it's still there, it definitely had a lot more of it earlier on in its life cycle, and now that we've gotten into basically right over Loda right now, it's a lot smaller. It's a little bit more of a compact storm, and it has lost a bit of its strength as well, including, most importantly, a lot of its rotation. So there you go. Now that's gone. We are looking at just a severe thunderstorm warning now until 5:15 for Ford as well as Iroquois counties. We are going to keep an eye on for things here, but we're going to go back to our Gulf replay, and we're going to keep things streaming here on social media for those of you who'd care to watch. We'll send you back now to regular programming.